I don't know. Jeff at 610. No, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. Let's do it that way. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. On the Twitter, you'll find JJ. It's _ JJ Buck. And on the Facebook, the OD and the AM. You can watch the show there from ProView Networks. JJ, I can't say I'm having issues. Who's producing on the ProView side? Is it J-Pole, as I heard?
We're having issues with ProView.
All right. Well, typically you can watch the show there. We're going to get into the Final Four, which you get to enjoy this weekend. The national championship for basketball will be decided on Monday. We're a week away from the Masters if you want to get into some of the golf, MMA stuff, and big Lobo news when we get back. JJ, as the voice of the Lady Lobos, this had to be big news for you that we're going to get into. There will be super seniors on Mike Bradbury's team next year. We'll get into that. Bobcat's producing on the radio side. He'll take your calls. Glad you're with us on a Friday morning on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Mix a little sports analysis.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog! Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors.
Or on opening day, it was opening day, on April Fool's. And we sat here yesterday, we saw the Roy Williams story break while we were on the air. Really, do you believe it? Took Jerry Palm sending me a text to confirm it until we really believed it. The Texas job, Chris Beard leaves Texas Tech and goes to the University of Texas, his alma mater. What do you believe? But Tom Brady says he's bringing back the Expos. No, I'm not buying into that one. All right. It's the opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. So, J.J., when you saw a video and then the news that Jaden De La Cerda and Tony Anderson are going to return for a super senior season with UNM. Did you buy it all at first? Because with all this news coming out of UNM yesterday, between the press conference to announce $1 million gift from Mass Mutual, Richard Pitino announces 2 assistant coaches, and then that, I was just like, damn, that's more news than we've had out of there in a long time.
Yes. Well, if you watch the video, they do a good job of playing it up like this is some farewell tribute, and then they're coming down the ramp and you're like, man, it would have been fun to play with fans in this building for our last year. Then they look at each other and go, want to run it back? And then that's the end of the video. And it's fantastic for this program to have De La Cerda and Antonio Anderson back. And they were first recruits of Mike Bradbury. They're fantastic players. And looking at De La Cerda, tore a ligament in her right thumb, played with it the final 9 games of the season, still earned Mountain West All-Tournament honors, was a fantastic player, but tried to put the team on her back in that final game against Cal Baptist, and to see her come back with Antonio Anderson, the Duff sisters, Sean Magruder, this team is going to be right back towards the top of the Mountain West Conference next year.
Yeah, and I got to believe, and you know probably better than I in regards to what he's got as far as a recruiting class coming in, but to run back 2 of your best who were seniors, you already did senior night, you said goodbye, but this COVID year with the NCAA granting the extra year of eligibility, that's how the Lobos found a 6th-year grad transfer quarterback to play football to come over from Kentucky, and to keep the I don't know. Would you say the core? I mean, certainly with the Duff sisters and then these 2, the core of your team, right?
Absolutely. And then, oh, by the way, Elise Hurst will be a senior next season. So you're running your best shooter and defender is Elise Hurst. Tay Duff, Tora Duff are only going to get better because they're new players that didn't have a lot of practice time either with this team. Shai Magruder, Antonio Anderson, De La Cerda. That's going to get some votes for number 1 in the Mountain West, that squad. Yeah,
as it should, and that's the team that won the regular season
champion, New Mexico Lobos.
Yeah, and here's what is even bigger than them. Well, and I don't know if it's bigger. It's and I don't even know if it's surprising, but I just don't think it can be lost in today's day, in today's game. Is not only are they going to utilize their extra year, but they're going to stay where they were. They're not going in the transfer portal, which you're seeing everybody, well, let me go try something different. Let me go try something new. And when you see the numbers and the coaches talk about it, I think that's a big deal. And it says, because look, if you go back a season and what was going on with Bradbury and players in that program, and the fact that you saw some women go into the transfer portal, but the core of the team staying, and not only staying, but opting to take that extra year. I don't think I'd have sat here and told you I would expect that a year ago.
I'm right there with you, and especially with what Mike Bradbury had to say this week about it. And he's talking about, despite the challenges, how rewarding this season was, that it made him want to keep coaching, gave him that spark back. So it does highlight, yeah, absolutely, the things that were going on last year. There were a lot of issues, a lot of rumblings, but to have your core players, your best players, still here in this program, one more year on top of it, not testing the waters somewhere else. I think that's a big statement for Lobo basketball, a big statement for Mike Bradbury, and I'm really excited to see this team once again.
Yeah, I think it's a big deal for them. And for you, look for you, man. I mean, next year, I would assume you're back on the road with them, right? I mean, probably November. Well, I say back on the road because you've never been on the road, but the person in your position previously has always been. You're going to be in the building, I would like to believe, and traveling and hitting all the glory spots on their schedule and traveling with this team that should be really exciting, and it should make your job pretty fun.
Fort Collins, Laramie, Wyoming, Boise, Idaho, Logan, Utah. Watch out.
Yeah, well, wherever else, you look at the non-conference. I mean, he was just talking about the non-conference schedule the other day, which sounded pretty impressive as well. So I think that's a big deal. Richard Pitino's got Andy Hill and Isaac Chu on his staff, the first two members of his staff. He's going to keep the video coordinator. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know Isaac Chu or Andy Hill. Andy Hill coming over from Utah. He was in the Pac-12. He recruited the West Coast. He recruited some pretty good players to Utah. And Chu comes over from Grand Canyon. But if you look down his resume, he's been a lot of places as well. So it feels like an experienced couple of coaches that are coming over. And obviously, Richard's got to feel comfortable with his guys and do it his way. And so, whoop, there it is.
Yeah, like with a lot of things with a coaching search, it's the assistant coaches that a lot of people probably have never heard of in this case, and it's another chance to get to know some new coaches, look at their background. Richard Pitino is going to talk later this afternoon about it, so we'll kind of find out more about what the connection was, the traits of these assistants that he felt good about asking them to be a part of his staff on Lobo basketball.
Yeah, I think they're going to be guys that maybe you're familiar with, maybe you're not. But to his credit, both guys who have most recently been in this region. And, I think that's one of the things that people say, well, how's he going to recruit here? He's got to recruit Cal. Oh, okay. All right. Well, he found guys who had been here and doing it, relatively successfully, right? Grand Canyon, if I'm not mistaken, won the WAC regular season, won the WAC tournament, went to the NCAA tournament, right? Utah's had success over the years in the Pac-12. Obviously, the last couple not as much success because Larry Krystkowiak got fired and that staff got fired. But I look at guys. This is probably the way Lobo fan was hoping, whether you know the names or not, was hoping he would build a staff. Correct?
Yeah, I think that's fair, and a lot of it. When you start looking down where the coaches have been, and here's the thing, yes, Richard Pitino was at Minnesota, but he doesn't not know Texas and California exist. When you look at these rosters and where he got players from Minnesota, he got transfers from all over. Yeah, it's a little bit different when you look at some of the Midwest flavor, but these guys overall are pretty connected, understand the entire landscape. But when you get guys that do have a little bit more of a connection with the region, that's exactly what you want to see in putting this together. And man, did you see that number just keep on rising too in that transfer portal on the men's side? It's unbelievable where we're at. We're in 4 digits of transfers, over 1,000 players available. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities and plenty of guys that said, hey, I recruited this guy at one point, or I know this guy, and I know his cousin. So it's this roster could look completely different next year, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of what's the young man, Osmus from Oral Roberts, the leading scorer in the nation?
Yeah.
Being recruited, but not being recruited because, well, he's not in the portal, so he's not really being recruited, but he's being recruited by schools everywhere because now the secret's out. This young man at Oral Roberts, like you start thinking back, dude. Transfer portal. Would Steph Curry have stayed at Davidson? Would Kawhi? Well, Kawhi came out early, but would he have stayed at San Diego State? This is everything I told you, my fear was with the transfer portal, and that's why I do believe they need to go back to the redshirt year and sitting out a year because I think if they keep it, and I know you're on the other side of this, and I understand why, but if they keep this where you can transfer and play immediately, it's going to be really hard for schools at this level to maintain really good players.
But they're cashing in on it. Look at all the quote-unquote power conference players that are transferring to the Mountain West. So you're taking advantage of it, guys that need a second chance, guys that might not have felt like they got their opportunity. I'm fine with one free transfer, and then after that, if you want to bounce around, you have to take your redshirt year, etc., with whatever eligibility that you have left. But schools like New Mexico, you look at Boise State, look at Utah State, etc., have capitalized on guys going the other way. So yeah, you might lose your best player if that's the case, but still, you take advantage of it when guys don't quite work out at power conference teams.
Yeah, and that's why, look, when it doesn't work out and guys coming back, I look at, it's not even necessarily at the Mountain West level. I look at Johnny Juzang at UCLA, right? He's from LA, from Tarzana. Went to Kentucky, didn't work, came back and had the instant transfer year. And look I mean, UCLA's not in the Final Four if they don't get the instant eligibility this year, right? I think Johnny Juzang is a piece that put them over the top. You and I will agree to disagree on this because I'm probably not going to come over to that side on this. I think my fear was, and while I don't know that we're there yet, I think it's on the way, that the quote unquote mid majors, and I'll classify that as anybody not a Power 6 league. And I'll tell you, even lower tier teams of the Power 6 become the minor leagues for the Power Conference, and whether it's taken from Oral Roberts or from New Mexico or from any Pickett, that's I'm just not a fan of that. And you could tell me, well, it's better for the student athlete, and you might be right. But for a fan base so I understand the hypocrisy, or at least the potential hypocrisy of what I'm saying, because I always go back to, for whom are we doing this, right? Is college basketball for the student athlete? Is it for the fans? Is it for the institution? And I think the answer is yes, yes, yes. But who is the priority? And I'm not sure I know where I land on that. But for fan bases, and it won't happen every time. I agree with that. But would Steph Curry have stayed 4 years at Davidson?
I think it's possible, because you got to look at too, like, when these players really take off. And even if you do transfer to a power school, if you want that opportunity, and you should have that opportunity. And even if it's like you lose your best player, like, unfortunate, but I would have to believe it doesn't. When I look at it overall, like, we don't see it happen all the time. Like, these blue bloods power conference schools, they're still recruiting highly, 4 or 5-star freshmen every single year, so they're not necessarily out there in the transfer market. Would it change without the red shirt? Yes, it would to a certain extent. Yeah. There's no question some players would absolutely leave, but if they earn that opportunity, how is that any different than a head coach building his resume and then getting a chance to go to a power conference school?
It's not, and I understand that. And I agree with you. If they want that opportunity, they should have that opportunity. But I think they should have to redshirt. And I'm going to stay on that position. I think they should have to redshirt. You know who's getting hurt here?
Because Terrell Gomez thought he was stepping up and it didn't work out. So, like, and San Diego State was taking advantage of it
kind of worked out for him. I mean, he went to the tournament. I mean, Terrell Gomez. Okay. I mean, but that's a grad transfer thing. That's a kind of a totally different thing.
Was he a grad transfer? Because he's transferring again. Is it just because of the free year?
Because he got the free year. Yes, okay. But it's a grad transfer thing. But yeah, absolutely it was. The other thing is, and I was listening to a coach talk about this the other day. The high school seniors are the ones who are getting kind of left out in this, because as coaches now are recruiting, they're going through the transfer portal and they're going through the JUCO. It's the high school seniors who are getting left out. I mean, there's only so many spots, right? And with everybody moving around.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a fair point, too. But you also look at it, Jeff, and what is the industry? It's still business. And no one's going to sit there and wait for that high school senior to be awesome when he's a college senior.
No doubt. I want to talk more about this. 505-246-0610. But where are you on this? Do you, as we get back into whatever normal is, do you want to see that redshirt year come back in regards to the transfer? With the transfer portal is now in 4 digits as far as players. It's I almost say 1,200. I'll find it for you. Or should they have instant eligibility, or at least one instant eligibility transfer? And I'm kind of curious, when you say one, would that be an additional one if they do a grad transfer, or would it be just one during your career? We'll hit that when we come back.
Well, speaking of transferring, sitting out, being the best you, what have you done about your fitness? Because might have had a redshirt year with our health this past year, just thinking about, okay, doing all the things we need to do to avoid getting sick. But now as we start to move forward, take steps to get back into it, let me tell you about F45 training. F45 training is high-intensity circuit training in 45-minute classes. And I am enjoying this gym. I love the functional training, the movements, the classes, new classes every single day that help your mind and body keep pushing forward. And this is for all fitness levels. Whether you're looking to kickstart your fitness or challenge yourself to get to another level, F45 is the gym for you. There's trainers available at every class to help you out, motivate you. You need to modify a workout, you need some help with a certain exercise. They are there and they are awesome. Every trainer I've had so far has been great dealing with the class. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app so you can look at the schedule of classes. They have classes 7 days a week. And also sign up for your 7-day free trial so you can go in, see what it's like. Class size, you have to book your class, so they still manage it. They clean the gym. It's a good atmosphere, so you can just focus on your workout and getting the best you can out of that 45 minutes. They're located at 5920 Holly in Northeast Paseo and I-25, so it's really good access from wherever you're coming from in the city. And speaking of things starting to move forward, they have their Black Light Night tomorrow. So they have 2 night classes. There's going to be a DJ in the gym. It's just going to be a fun, different atmosphere that you can enjoy. I'm looking forward to it, so hopefully I will see you there. Check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that could happen?
No! Bad dog! Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Whether this is something you like or not, I tell you all the time, you like it when it benefits you, you hate it when it doesn't. Transfers have been coming into the University of New Mexico, and New Mexico State for that matter, for a lot of years. You liked it when Danny Granger transferred from Bradley to New Mexico. That helped you a lot. You liked it when J.R. Giddens transferred from Kansas to New Mexico. That helped you a lot. It's hard to see Damian Jefferson and Ahir Ugwak, who were at the University of New Mexico and transferred out and were in the Sweet 16 this year with Creighton and Loyola. I understand that. And I understand that's part of the game. If I gave you a percentage, if I asked you, what percentage do you think of college basketball players transfer from their original school by their sophomore year? I think about that number for a minute. I'll give it to you. What would you think it is? It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. You can watch us on the ProView networks, and you're listening to us on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. So JJ, if I asked you what percentage of players transfer from their initial school by their sophomore year, do you know what that number would be?
Man, I'd guess these days is it upwards like 35%?
It's 40%. Yeah, it's 40%. Now, whether you think that's good, and I was just saying, look, you love the transfer portal when it helps. When Danny Granger comes from Bradley, or J.R. Giddens comes from Kansas, or Drew Gordon transfers in from UCLA, or, I mean, there's a bunch of them. It's really good, and it's hard to see Ahir Ugwak and Damian Jefferson playing in the Sweet 16, and they used to be yours. I got that, or they used to be on your team. The recruiting is insanity, and I wonder, how do you keep this clean? Meaning, I think they're going your way, JJ. I think this is the NCAA is going to your way where you're going to get one free transfer. I do. Now, I don't know if that means you're going to get one free transfer plus your free transfer at your graduate year. Is that what that's going to be? That's going to be another free one?
Yeah, and I look at that as you earn that one. If you're actually there and you get your degree, you do your job as a student athlete, good on you. Because what we're seeing, too, is the bubble about to burst, but it's going to take a year or two for everyone just to figure this out. Like, every sport is kind of sitting there going, oh, man, this year, next year, it's going to be crazy. But then the scholarship limitations are back. Mm-hmm. Then you start having to managing your roster. So it is going to take a year or two just for this to calm down a little bit.
So what precludes a coach from any school, I mean, whether it's New Mexico or San Diego State or Texas, from recruiting those two guys from Oral Roberts, who you probably didn't pay any attention to? Yeah, he was the leading scorer in the country, Osmus was. But then you watched him play in the tournament, you're like, damn, that guy can help me. What precludes a coach from recruiting him, even if he's not in the transfer portal? Whether that means directly, I called you, or my people called your dad, or whatever. And that's where I start. Where's the line here? And does there need to be one?
Collegiate athletics and basketball.
Yeah, and so yes, and so we're kind of encouraging it to get worse.
Well, and what you do is you either have integrity or you don't. And a lot of these guys are playing the game, and I don't have a perfect answer for it. All I can say is you can snitch on him. You can call that coach out if he's recruiting your player.
Yeah, I guess because I'm going to go back to something you said in the last segment. It's a business, right? And businesses are what? Result oriented. If that guy can help me, and I'm at Iowa State, and that kid's at Oral Roberts, and I'm just picking it. I'm not telling you that T.J. Otzelberger's doing that, but wherever. Pick your school. It could be a power conference. It could be the Mountain West, whatever. But I just watched that kid, and somehow there's his Aunt Ethel's from here, from my town, mm-hmm. or his dad grew up near here, or his mother used to work with my wife's sister's friend. It feels like we're just encouraging it to get dirtier. That's all I'm saying. And there was a time that we were pretending to clean it up, mm-hmm. and it just feels like we're pretending. We're encouraging it to be. I don't know. At some point, and everybody kind of feels, and it's very vogue to say, "Oh, it's spinning out of control. The NCAA is spinning out of control. Recruiting's out of." kind of encouraging it to continue to spin.
Yeah. Well, then
when
the
does it
NCAA has to step up. There's wiretaps of coaches doing inappropriate things against
nothing's
the rules,
happened.
and they're still head coaches at the schools. So I understand. I'm right there with you. This is one that you sit there and go, well, what's changing about it? The NCAA doesn't care. These schools don't care. So the only thing would be if coaches would call each other out. And are they going to do that? Or are they going to get to that extent? But then I will say, all right, the one free transfer could absolutely change things, but there's 1,300 kids available. It's not like there's not talent that you can then get to come to your school. I would just say, where is it happening? Like, is it just this fear that all the good kids are automatically going to go to power conference schools? I think we have to see what happens.
Yeah, I think partially. Let me ask you this. We've had so many conversations, and I'm looking really big picture, okay? I'm looking bigger than 10 years, okay? I'm looking big picture. This sport is so popular, and it's so popular in March. It is, dare I say, the second biggest sports spectacle in our country. Would you agree with that after the Super Bowl, the NCAA tournament?
Yeah.
Okay? They do such a great job, and it's because people love their fan bases, or their fan bases love their universities and their schools. We have talked ad nauseum on this program over the last bunch of years about the deterioration in the UNM fan base, right? And we've talked why. Why is it? Is it the experience at the pit? Is it that they're not winning? Is it? And one of the constants that's come up is people don't identify with the players anymore. Well, I remember when Kenny Thomas was here for 4 years and Rob Robbins was here for 4. And I get it. We're not going back to that. But do you think long term or do you identify with more? I mean, is Damian Jefferson a Lobo? Or I hear Uguak, or did you not even get to know those guys? Do you think long term it deteriorates their fan base to any tangible level? The fact that you're just running through guys and guys there for 1 year, 2 years, and there's no identification. Because how do you just identify with the logo and the team name? It's the name on the front of the jersey. I mean, part of the sports is you identify and fall in love with the athletes.
I am not going to downplay that as nothing. I do think that factors in. That's why, I think McQuatch Malawatch was a fan favorite of people this year, despite this team winning 6 games this season. So I do think there's an element of that. But ultimately, if your university is successful, you don't care if a dude's there 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years. If you're winning, because outside of this season, like, I don't think Kentucky was like, oh man, I wish this guy was here for 4 years. Like, if you're successful,
but
as a
they
university,
win at a different level.
And it does. If a guy is here 4 years or 3 years, if you're successful, that's what matters. I don't think when you look at Lobo basketball, and I do think it's a national conversation about live sporting events in terms of people's attendance as we move forward. They're the furthest thing, at least at the collegiate level in my mind, of something that is in crisis mode. Because, is it 16,000, 17,000 people at the pit? No, you can't do that anymore. But if we're sitting here going at least a solid year of expectations, you're getting 10 to 11,000 people. That might not be what you're used to. That's still really good.
Let me ask you this. Take the past 2 decades. Who are the most popular Lobos? Last 2 decades. Kendall Williams, 4 years. In no particular order. Roman Martinez, McQuatch Malawatch. I'll give you Danny Granger. I'll give you that. But you want to go back 25 years? Kenny Thomas,
Drew Gordon,
Clayton Shields, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing: are they popular if those teams don't get to the postseason?
Did McQuatch? How much postseason did McQuatch Malawatch and Roman Martinez have?
Yeah, but Roman, was he popular because he stayed or because of what happened at the end?
Well, I'm asking you. I don't know. I'm just looking at it. Give me a guy. You went through how many Nate Garths and Antono Jacksons, right? I'm just saying that's as we go look long, big picture. that conversation, and we're not done with it. We'll do more of it. 505-246-0610. But I'm really curious as to your thoughts as we go through it at 246-0610. I want to give you some thoughts on how to handle things that happen, gentlemen, as you age. Things like low T and hair loss and even fatigue, because there's a really good chance it's going to happen to you as you get older. Maybe it already is. There's something you can do about it. There's something that you can do to battle nature and feel like you again, and it's new male. Look, if you're experiencing these things, you're regularly tired, maybe you're carrying a few extra pounds, you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, I do suggest you call New Male. New Male leads the way. They help men deal with these issues, and they have for years. They've got a testosterone replacement, which utilizes the latest, the cutting-edge technology. Men all over the country benefit from this, and they feel better. The number is 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688, or you can visit newmale.com. Fellas, New Male is convenient. They are right here in Albuquerque. The process is comfortable. It starts with your phone call, goes through the process, the treatment. They guide you through it all the way. And the best part is, the results are real. 505-652-1688. Guys, don't put it off. Take care of you. Visit newmail.com or call 505-652-1688 and feel better.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today. If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Next in line. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Meet Greg Shamus. He's a State Farm agent, which means he's here to help with all this. But it's easier to just remember he's here to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Greg Shamus at 505-898-3648 today.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your...
The name Anthony Mathis, and that was the next one I was going to. We're talking about, the transfer portal, and I get the transfer portal, and I understand the benefits of the transfer portal and in where we're going, but when does it get to be detrimental? And are we on that path? And so he said, Anthony Mathis says, yeah, he was here 4 years, and then he bailed. You got him an extra year, and then he bailed on you. And I think he's still popular, but he was popular in large respect, because you were so unhappy with Craig Neal, and as soon as Craig left, he flourished. So that was kind of a told you so to the coach you didn't like, and he was funny. He was terrific. But to your point, guys who win tend to be more popular. How much winning did McQuatch do? How much winning did Anthony Mathis?
Yeah, but you still just with that, Jeff. We can talk about McQuatch and Malawatch, but how many times did you say, oh man, if there could be fans in the building, would there even be 6,000 there? Like, fans aren't buying tickets because there's one player on the team. Ultimately, this entire conversation comes back down whether it's 4-year guys, you have 10 guys from your own state. Are you a consistent basketball program? And then we get into moments where you haven't been for the last 8 years. Then you start looking at everything. So it's, because we don't have guys here for 4 years. Oh, it's because we don't have enough in-state guys on the roster. Because as much, if you love a dude that stays 4 years, if it's a 2-win basketball team, you're not buying tickets in February to show up. However you get there, you got to be a consistent program. And to your point, there are a lot of challenges this time. And this year and next year, college basketball is going to be crazy as they cipher through everything and then try to get back to their limits, players finally exhausting their eligibility and figuring out what this last 2 years is all about.
Yeah, I want to be very clear. I don't think that they're losing or fans are coming because they're not getting transfers. I want to be very clear too. In this day and age, I do believe that this program needs to be active in the transfer portal. Okay, you got to play the game the way the game is being played. If that makes any sense, and the way the game is being played right now is with the transfer portal. The conversation, as I was intending it to be, is more about long term is basically basketball free agency every year good for the game. And I don't know that it's a clear answer. I understand. For whom are we making the rules? Is it for the student athlete? Is it for the fans? Is it for the institution? Is it for I don't know that I can sit here and give you an exact answer on where I feel, because I think it's all. I'm just asking on long term, the viability of this game. A, are we encouraging it to be dirtier in regards to recruiting violations, tampering, recruiting guys that are already at a place? And I think the answer to me is yes. And secondly, long term, what does it do? Will it erode fan bases? And to your point, if you win, hell no, right? No. Your point's right. Kentucky guys are there 1 year. I don't think anybody cares because they win. They love them. Yeah, no, you're right. And winning will solve everything. But I look at a place like this, and where the fan base is. We've been talking about it for a decade now about how it's eroding and why. I'm not telling you the only reason that the fan base. Jeffrey calls all the time, and you've got an older fan base. But what are the younger guys getting attached to? Who do you guy's here for a year and he's gone, and then you're watching him somewhere else, you don't even remember him. So that's where the conversation is, and I don't know if they need to. I'm not telling you they need to halt it. I just wonder if they need to tap the brakes on it, because you're right, man. Look, when we're gonna have this conversation in September, mobile fan. And maybe even more so in January, is going to love the transfer portal because of what it did to your roster. You're going to say, look what we had last year, and then we got this guy from this big school and this guy, and look what they're doing, and you're going to love it. And you're sure as hell going to love it before they come down the ramp, and then, right? Because they're going to be, we got it from this Power 5 school and this Power 6 school. That's all I'm saying. As we loosen restrictions, and I'm never a big government restriction guy, but are we going too far with this thing?
There's only so many places to go.
Music out.
Maybe Oral Roberts loses the leading scorer in the nation. Well, unfortunately, he moves on. Well, it's just like a coach moving on, right? Then hopefully you can use that and say, hey, you come to this school and be really successful. So you got to deal with it. But ultimately, there's only so many spots available, and I don't think every school in the nation is always going to lose their best player.
All right, when we come back, will you let people know how New Mexico State has been benefiting from the transfer portal? Because they've been doing all right, huh? 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur. Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur. Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Next in line. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
And JJ
Oh, we're talking hoops and transfer portals and stuff like that, and New Mexico State's certainly been affected by it. It's the opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. Two more Aggie basketball players entered the transfer portal yesterday, Jason King and C.J. Roberts. That makes 5 Aggies in the portal, along with Rashawn Agee, Marcus Watson, and Kalen Williams. But J.J., I mean, I think Aggie fan will probably benefit just as much. And so, this is where I get it. 5 guys in, 5 guys out, and that's probably by the time we're done, you're going to go, all right, well, we're better off because look where he's coming from, right?
Yes, there is a lot the NCAA has to figure out. It's a moment in time where they kind of have to reset who they are and what they're doing. If you haven't noticed, they've been sitting in front of the Supreme Court this week as well, arguing amateurism and the future of the sport when it comes to athletes and pay for play. So I think that is why they're kicking themselves a little bit on not being stronger with pushing through the name, image, and likeness, which is something that they would definitely have had more control over to do a baseline across the board, because it's not been going well for them at the Supreme Court. So yes, there's a lot of things, and the NCAA has to take a deep breath, reset, and this one-time transfer rule, the transfer portal this season, is definitely something they have to say, hey, is this just a result of the COVID year and, of course, a bunch of players having an extra year of eligibility that they wouldn't have in general, or something that is out of control?
Do we know for sure, going from this year to next year, so someone in the transfer portal now, do the players know if they're going to have to sit out a year or if they're going to get the instant eligibility? Because I don't believe they do, right?
They don't, and this is where you go back to, when are you going to make that decision? What is your statement going to be? Was it just expanded rosters for this calendar year for whenever the sport started? Like, those are some of the things like, all right, let's get on this and get that decision going.
No, they got to figure it out. They just have to, because you've got, more than 1,000 people, men, plus the women, plus the football, in the basketball transfer portal, and are they going to get to play right away? And would that affect their decision? You like Byron Matos, when he entered, said, "I might come back to New Mexico, but I mean, I don't think he's coming back. But if he had to sit out a redshirt year, would that affect him? Would Richard Pitino want him back? All the uncertainty, it's insane. The NIL thing, the name, image, and likeness thing should it feels like that should be handled pretty cleanly, but it's not. One other thing, New Mexico State, and I don't think the East Tennessee job, we're going to have to go down the Chris Jans train on this thing again. That was the job last year when Steve Forbes left, and Jans evidently was offered the job and stayed at New Mexico State, and they stayed with Jason Shea, the assistant who was there. Jason Shea resigned yesterday at East Tennessee. I don't think Jans is up for that. I have seen Chris's name up in some reports for the Texas Tech job. Now, not necessarily as a leading candidate for that. You see Kelvin Sampson's name up a lot. Look, Texas Tech can pay a lot. But I got to believe he's a candidate for that job, even if he's not a leading candidate.
And looking at ETSU, this is a situation that there's going to be a moment of hesitation because their head coach, Jason Shea, resigned, and he was hired. What this a year or two ago? The ETSU.
It was last. It was last. Yeah,
it was last year we were going through this, right?
Yeah.
And several East Tennessee State men's basketball players are convinced the resignation came because their head coach supported their silent protest, supported kneeling during the national anthem. And what's happened in Tennessee, lawmakers have got involved. They've been sending letters to the universities saying, don't do this. They're pushing back on the student athletes. So they think that was part of the reason why the head coach ultimately stepped down. So, yeah, that's a situation that you're going into going, what am I stepping into at this exact moment in time?
Yeah, so what JJ is getting into, the players protested and took a knee at the anthem. They all did. And Jason Shea and his staff stood in solidarity with them, or in this case, knelt in solidarity with his players, and was vocal about it and explaining that this is not a new conversation. And it's probably new to you in regards to this particular institution, but it's a conversation that's been happening throughout our country for a long time now. Military, and it's a very, very, East Tennessee is a very red part of that state. And there were a lot of people, including, to your point, politicians were very vocal that this was disrespectful to veterans, to the flag. They tried to explain that it's not. This is why they're doing. And so, to your point, there was a lot of pressure. The players who were, by the way, as we're talking transfer portal, in the transfer portal in droves, I believe half that team now, at least, is in the transfer portal. But the politicians there was a Tennessee State representative named Scotty Campbell who tweeted, and it's since been deleted, but the local news outlets got a quote, "If it isn't out of disrespect and they cared about how many of their fans feel they wouldn't do it during that song, $250,000 annual salary and can't see fit to have players respect our anthem as Americans, disappointing." And that's just, that's not harsh criticism. It's the criticism that he was getting. And so his players believe that that's the reason he stepped down. He said it was just time to go do something else professionally, personally. But certainly everybody there believes, and I think he was one game over 500 this year. And I think everybody there believes that the political pressure and him supporting his players was the reason he left.
And I say good on you, Coach, for supporting your players, for stepping up with them, for listening to them in that moment. And guess what? These lawmakers in Tennessee, they're getting what they wanted. They want all those people out. They got them out. And now you have to deal with it thinking that, you're going to come in and do it my way because I'm a Senate member and this is what we need. All right. See how that starts working out when you really start trying to mess with Tennessee and Kentucky then.
Yeah.
And those players.
Yeah.
Like in the overall region, because it's
that's
what we're
the
seeing.
divide that's going on. So yeah. And so that job open. Again, I don't think Jans is up for that job. I don't know that he wants to go into the middle of that either. That's going to be a tough spot to go into too. What is the university? They're going to make a political statement by who they hire, right?
Just think about recruiting then. If you're a young student athlete and then you're looking at these headlines, like, you want me to go to East Tennessee State now? Oh, thank you.
Yeah. No, that's going to be tough. Boy, did you see the names up for the Carolina job? It's everything we said yesterday. Pick your big name. There's going to be the two with the Carolina connection, but Jay Wright and Billy Donovan and Mark Few. All the names that you and I sat here and talked about on the show yesterday, where all the experts were going all day long. And, it's going to be interesting. The Mark Few one is really interesting. A, if they're interested, and B, does he listen this time? Because he's, 58, I want to believe? And he's been at Gonzaga as the head coach 20 years. If they win a national championship, if he's ever going to go, and again, I don't know that they're going to offer him this job, but if he's ever going to go, this would be it, wouldn't it?
That's right there. That is why I would put this percentage much higher if Gonzaga wins a national championship. If he accomplishes that feat, gets the Bulldogs over the top, saying, we did it. This West Coast Conference juggernaut, we did it. I think that would then say, all right, maybe I'll take this opportunity, this chance to go to North Carolina. So that's why if anyone says, oh, no chance, no. If he wins a national championship, I think he would seriously be interested. Now the thing with North Carolina is, are they willing to kind of step out of their bubble? And the whole Tar Heel family thing that they've been rolling with forever now, it feels like. And how much power does Roy Williams still have? Because reports are he told the AD who should be the next head coach, and how much is that going to factor in?
Did he go Hubert Davis? Is that what he did?
Well, they didn't say who he said, but the reports were he gave the suggestion to the AD.
All right. Yeah, and they've got the coach at UNC Asheville who's an alum as well. So watch that one because that's big. Texas acted quickly, and you say, well, Jeff, it was a few days. They acted as quickly as they can because as soon as April 1st hit, and they saved $1 million on Chris Beard's buyout. They knew where they were going.
They had a coupon.
So they're
like, oh, we got our $1 million off coupon. Here you go, Chris.
Save $1 million. Yeah. $1 million off a coach. So it was a $4 million buyout as opposed to a $5 million buyout.
Did you see the reaction from the Texas Tech AD
Indiana
about that yesterday? By the way.
No. What did Kirby say?
Oh, he was upset. No. He was mad.
I'm sure he was. What did he say?
Oh, he's just like it's like he was saying, oh, a guy that's saying he's here in the fight, he's fighting every day, he's here battling, and then to go to an in-conference school, an in-conference rival. It's like, I get the frustration that he went to Texas, but y'all did fly into Vegas and scoop him up too, so.
Well, but I don't know that. I don't know that Chris Beard ever made those commitments when he was there. Look, Chris Beard took your relatively. Give me the word. What was their basketball program before Chris Beard got there? They had.
This is an average Big 12 team.
They were an average.
They had Bobby Knight as head coach for a while.
They had Bobby Knight and Tubby Smith, so they've taken their swings. They had Bobby Knight, Pat Knight, Tubby Smith. They took their swings, but they never hit. I mean, even with Bobby Knight, they never hit. This guy got you to the championship game. This guy took you to a heights that you've never been to. And yeah, he said that he was in it for the long haul and in the fight. And then his alma mater came and they threw a bunch of money at him. And so to me, it's different than UNLV. I kind of get it. Kirby Holcutt's the AD there, right? I'm pretty sure. I kind of get what he would think. Especially it's in state, it's to that school, it's a conference rival, it's yeah. If I'm him, I'm probably feeling the same way.
Yeah,
probably
you lost
we got a really good
coach.
Relationship. We've been
I
honest
think
with
Chris
each other.
Beard is great, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's the point, Jeff, that you talk about. Then you got to say, hey, we're established now, and then we're going to go out there and get the next guy that's going to keep pushing us forward.
Yeah. I don't think fans there will ever forgive him. All right, 246-0610, 888-922-0610. Come on in. I got emails. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Bobcat will take your calls. You can watch the show on on ProView Networks on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. Aaron is producing for you there. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
When you talk to
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage. Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage. Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage. Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school.
Meet Greg Shamus. He's a State Farm agent, which means he's here to help with all this. But it's easier to just remember he's here to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Greg Shamus at 505-898-3648 today.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to newmexicohighlands.com today.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Hi, my name is Cynthia Baling.
Hi, my name is Greg Shamus. We are both State Farm agents, and like a good neighbor, we are thrilled to be able to support the return of high school sports in New Mexico.
We've got your back. Go Teams.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Ashley Duran in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Yeah, Kirby Hocutt wasn't happy, the athletic director of Texas Tech. They had offered last year, they were trying to extend Chris Beard. And Chris Beard, the coach who went from Texas Tech to Texas, is one of the highest paid college basketball coaches in the country. Texas Tech basically offered him a lifetime deal, which was going to just keep him there, and he declined it. And so that's where Kirby Hocutt said yesterday that the whole indication that this was going to happen at some point. And then earlier this week, Taos native Chris Del Conte, the athletic director at Texas, called and asked for permission to talk, and the coach called the athletic director at Tech on Tuesday night, said, I got a decision to make. Wednesday called and said, I'm out, and then it all went down. But to your point, JJ, the quote from Kirby Hocutt, the guy left holding the bag at Texas Tech, the athletic director, he said this: to use a term that Coach Beard uses every day, you get in the fight. We've been in the fight for years, 5 years. The fight's not over. And you have somebody that then walks away to go to an in-conference school, an in-state school. Absolutely, that frustrates you. Heck yeah, it does. If we're honest and loyal and sincere and talking about getting in a fight and you're in the fight every day, yeah, frustration would be a kind word to summarize, end quote. I can't tell you I blame him. I mean, again, he's going to have to understand it. Is Texas a better job than Texas Tech? I mean, you think it's a no-brainer. I don't know if it's as much of a no-brainer, but yeah, I think it obviously is. It pays more. It's got more resources. It's the flagship. It's his alma mater.
And that's the big key
I
to
get
that.
the frustration,
like, I get
though, man.
Absolutely. I don't have a problem with it, but it's like, guess what? You're going to do that to someone else at some point in time. You're going to take someone else's coach, and they're going to be the frustrated one. It's part of the
next week
the business of college athletics. But it's a quote that's going to rile up the fan base, and it's going to get everyone on your side. And ultimately, at that end of the press conference, what he should have said is, you know what? We appreciate what Chris did because we matter now. Thanks to Chris Beard, we're excited to keep growing, and I can't wait to see him in conference play because Texas Tech is going to have something for him.
Yeah,
Boom.
no, I think that's right. And to your point, he needs to, he needs to take that attitude. You're right. He needs to rile up his fan. Does it feel you like Aggie fan felt when Paul Weir got plucked? I mean, it's not dissimilar, is it?
There's some of that, but I think it was probably more venom towards the coach than anything else because it's not like at the time like New Mexico was having better success than New Mexico State. Like this is, but it's
it's not like Texas is having better. Texas isn't having any more success than Texas Tech.
Rudy's on the
Texas Tech's a better basketball program right now. So it's
Texas
the same
will
thing
be with
to me.
Chris Beard and Texas Tech.
I think that's probably right. Yeah, no, I think that's right. But it's remember when Paul Weir got hired from New Mexico State to New Mexico. I completely remember very succinctly. My overriding sentiment was this is uncomfortable. Remember, it was like whether you think it's right, whether you think it's wrong, it just felt uncomfortable. And I don't know if that's part of what's going on there. And it's obviously a lot bigger state with a lot more parts to it, a lot more schools there. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, Rudy.
Well, I think I heard you say yesterday that you've never been to Lubbock. Is that right, Jeff?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Well, I don't know. I would never, if I had the choice between living in Lubbock and Austin, I'd pick Austin every time.
I think most people would, right, JJ? I mean, I know you would.
Yeah.
So I think it was a pretty easy decision for Chris, and I'm sorry the athletic director feels that way, but that's sports, isn't it?
Absolutely it is.
I mean, when you couldn't have the New Mexico Bowl here, you didn't sit around and cry about it. You went and found another location.
Well, all right, hold on. It is sports, and I don't know if he's crying. I mean, don't you want your athletic director to go stand up and say, "Yeah, damn it, I'm pissed, and we're gonna have something for him." What do you want the athletic director to do at that point? So what should he do? Just wish him well and good luck to you.
It had nothing to do with Weir coming here, but I didn't hear Mario say, "Oh, we're in the fight every day, and you abandoned us to go to New Mexico." Did he say that? Because I didn't hear Mario say that.
Right. No,
so
you're right.
It depends on how you want to handle it, as an athletic director, I suppose. And perhaps, he's appealing to his fan base in Lubbock because they've always felt slighted by Texas, UT. And we're the poor redhead stepchild of UT,
and rightfully
we don't believe
so.
that. So you get that component, and they're rivals, and they're in the same conference. So anyway, I wanted to wish everybody a happy Good Friday and a happy Easter weekend. And I did get my second vaccine, and I'm trying to get through the arm soreness. So
attaboy.
Once I get that conquered, I am hopefully
Now, if that's
back
all
with
you
that.
got, if arm soreness is all you got, you're doing pretty well. So
Yeah,
good.
I
Glad
got
you're
a nasty
vaccinated.
headache, but, I when I started practicing law, I got a nasty headache every day. So I don't know if it's practicing law or the COVID vaccination. I'm just going
That's probably right.
leave it up to, I'm going to get through this, and I hope everybody else that gets the vaccine fares well. And I hope we get through this pandemic, because I'd sure like to see a packed University Stadium next fall for Danny's first home game.
Yep. I'm assuming you'll be out there tomorrow for the spring game, too.
With bells on, they had to postpone the first team and Letterman alumni thing because of COVID restrictions, but I'm going to be out there. I'm going to take my 94-year-old father. He's so excited to go to a tailgate. He has dementia, so you have to keep telling him, because he goes, "Where are we going?" "Going to a tailgate, Dad." 5 minutes later, "Where are we going tomorrow?" "Going to a tailgate, Dad." So I love the man, and I appreciate it, and I'll tell him that same answer 100 times, and we'll see you out there tomorrow, and everybody be safe.
All right. See you, Rudy. The beauty is he gets excited over and over and over again. That's kind of the cool part of it, right? Where are we going?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool.
And ultimately, Jeff, as we're having this conversation about college athletics, this is what I love. There's nothing like it. Yeah, we can talk about the NFL all the time and how that can dominate headlines, but there's not a connection to NFL teams like there is to universities. The irrational fan bases, the emotion involved, the people that can say, yeah, that's my school, I was a Red Raider, I was a Longhorn, the drama that comes with it, nothing like it. College athletics.
I don't know, man. The passion that Sean has for the Jets is pretty sincere.
Pretty good.
I don't know that I've seen anybody more attached to anybody than Edward is to Tom Brady.
I also
You
don't
show
see
me
people
somebody who loves the
donating
Lobos
money
more
to
than
those
Edward loves Tom
professional
Brady.
organizations. Their hard-earned
Buying
money.
tickets.
Here, Sean, send the Jets $100. Maybe they'll help them get a better quarterback.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Mass Mutual didn't give the Cowboys $1 million. Just
Wasn't an April Fool's joke.
But they do, actually. But they do, in the form of sponsorship. So, it's different. But I agree with you. And I've said this for years. I do agree the passion for college athletics is at a level that's different than it is for professional athletics, whether it's because it's your alma mater, whether it represents something different to you, whatever it is. All right, 505-246-0610. We'll turn the corner when we get back. 888-922-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Dr. Stephen Coleman specializes in treating astigmatism with LASIK surgery. He's done it since 1998. He's right here in Albuquerque. He treated my astigmatism back in 2003. It's one of the reasons I went to see him. I had my LASIK done, and it was immediate, and it was life-changing, and it still is benefiting me every single day. Look, the Dr. Coleman technology is cutting edge. He plays a significant role in developing and testing the current technology that he uses, but it's used around the world. Developed at Siembieda Labs for years. Patients have come from everywhere to have their LASIK done at Coleman Vision in Albuquerque by Dr. Stephen Coleman, because they know of his reputation, the fact that he's been in private practice specializing in LASIK his entire career. It's life-changing. I tell people all the time, they became family to me from the minute I walked in the door. The whole inviting feel, but just knowing what the Colemans are, who they are, what they've done in our community, and then the results. If you're considering LASIK, if you're tired of lenses, if you're tired of dealing with glasses, they're fogging up with your mask, or you don't want to put in contacts, you think you're a candidate. There's only one place to go. You go to the best. When it comes to your vision, when your eyes, you go to the best, and that's Dr. Stephen Coleman. Go to their website, look at what they're doing. It's colemanvision.com. Then call and make your appointment. You'll find out right away if you're a candidate, and then what the process is. And you'll realize when you walk in what I'm talking about. The number is 505-821-8880. That's area code 505-821-8880. Seeing is believing. In a Coleman Vision, you're certainly going to believe.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Meet Cynthia Bailing. She's a State Farm agent which means she's here to help with all this. But it's easier to just remember she's here to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Cynthia Bailing in Albuquerque at 505-292-3934.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more. DCE Systems is the certified sprayer for purified protected environments, which is the Novolent distributor for the state of New Mexico and El Paso. DCE Systems wants to help schools reopen and keep the students, teachers, and staff safe. We also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novolent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-270-6098 or go to dcesystemslnc.com. Ask us about our 24-hour hand sanitizer called Shield Plus.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever, no one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Art Sandoval in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A university dedicated to anticipating your needs through support, offering you a sense of belonging and promise you loyalty. This is where those ideas are possible. We learn about the world, about each other, about ourselves, unfazed by our differences and driven by our goals. We all work as one cohesive family, as a community. We are the movers and shakers, inventors and innovators, future leaders and glass ceiling breakers. We push ourselves to move forward, together.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken.
Does it?
Give me a hug.
You know who's going to join us, JJ? Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Oh. Is that Micah I hear hoeing on the phone?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, we'll just do the whole segment. What's up, man? You couldn't get through a Friday without a hoe. You got Aaron over here who's never hoed before. He didn't know what he's doing. We got a new producer on the ProView side. Bobcat's going, what the hell is this? And then you call into hoe. It's a weird April Fool's. What's up, man?
What's up? Yeah, Bobcat is like, hey, how do I do this exactly? I was like, I got you.
Well, I only saw it once.
Get him trained on this.
Come on.
I don't blame you. You ever watch the video, by the way? That video is great. Micah, how you living? How's the new gig?
It's good. It's good. Just, woke up, stretched out, got ready this morning.
I'm feeling good. Got the hoe in on a Friday, ready to go to work.
Oh, yeah, feeling a lot better.
How you feeling being corporate boy
Texas
now?
hired a new head coach, too.
There you go, Chris Beard, Texas
What do you feel
basketball
about
coming
Texas'
back.
new head coach? You guys would go across state and steal somebody else's coach. What the hell?
I mean, you guys were talking about premier programs yesterday. You got to put Texas in the mix. We can just steal whoever we want.
Obviously you can. And pay him whatever you want. Obviously you can. Yep. No, it's big. All right, man. Well, I'm glad you joined us. Don't be a stranger.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right. See you. Micah. See, I'm glad young Micah is still part of our program. Right?
Means he likes us. He actually likes us.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Maybe he misses us. He does. Hey, not everybody would pick Austin over Lubbock.
I know.
Sid said there's not enough money in the world to make me live in Austin, Mr. Siembieda. I'll take beautiful Lubbock, Texas every day of the week. In fact, in a few years, I'm hoping to be free of this dump, and Lubbock will definitely be on the consideration list as the future home of Sid. See? So not everybody.
Yeah, that's fine. And a lot of people do like to live by themselves in the middle of nowhere. And Sid is one of those people. And whatever makes you happy, you do.
That's why people live in Lubbock. That's right. Like I tell you how to be a
I have
fan,
nothing against
crying
that.
out loud. Lobo Hobos. Yeah, no, that's why everybody doesn't live in one spot, man. Lobo Hobo said, good news for Bobcat. He says, Jeff, the greatest hoe improvement always is between the first and the second hoe. So, Bob, if you're with us next week, I guess he's expecting your hoe to improve greatly between week 1 and 2.
It will, now that I know what I'm doing, and I will be here next week. I saw Mr. Carlisle after the show
look at that.
yesterday. So he dropped by.
Nice.
Yeah. So
We're extending our loan deal for our producer.
So I'll
I
be
know.
here next week.
I know.
Much to the
All right.
chagrin
Well,
of some.
Well, I don't know who probably just to Carlisle. I don't know. Bob, there's another. Dan wants to know about you. He says after a very successful week on the OD, does Bobcat still have to work all weekend in the house?
Yes, I do. And it's not
Yes,
a have
days
to,
off.
want to. I like both shows.
Yeah, that's right.
Both shows.
Well,
are fun.
they're very, very, very different, huh? Very, very different.
Very different. Yeah.
It's
and
very
we're
surprising, though, Jeff, the amount of crossover apparently there is between our shows, though.
Between our listeners? Yeah. Does that surprise you a lot?
No, I
surprised
like it.
me a little.
I do like it because I'm someone that I do kind of every once in a while I want to challenge myself, push myself outside the box. All right, let's hear what this is all about. And it's, of course, 2 completely different formats, but also kind of different views on plenty of things.
So if the people who are listening to us aren't listening to your boys on the weekend, they're listening to Strauss?
Well, we.
Well, I
we
mean,
come
because
on
that would be.
early.
Or I guess people go back and forth.
Yeah.
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 It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun hearing cross listeners. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I agree with you. Here in our cumulus family of listeners, is we're giving out money every day, and yeah, it's good. The only difference is you don't get that blueberry pancake here.
No,
and
I
that breakfast
don't.
burrito. We got to
I
figure
miss
out
that.
that would. Yeah, no, I bet you do. We got to call George and get that figured out when you're working our show to get you fed. Because I mean, I don't even know if they're paying you for this, but at least they should feed you.
Pay?
I'm kidding.
Wait, you get paid for this?
I hope so.
I'm just here
who
for the
does?
pancakes.
Who does? Yeah, no, who's getting paid? All right, emails are coming in this morning. Jeff at SportsAnimalABQ.com. JJ at SportsAnimalABQ.com. Harold's your volleyball guy, JJ. I'm going to let you. I don't know the answer to this. Head coach Tom Paul Glazer. Did they ever say why he only dressed 7 players, Jeff? The result was a depleted Lobo volleyball roster falling quickly to Colorado State. It's a shame because this was the most mediocre-looking Rams club since Laurel Kessel's days. Looked funny in that massive empty Wise Pies. All the Lobo volleyball players who didn't play were crammed at the end of the bench. Didn't see it. Did you see any of it?
I don't have any volleyball news for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Harold, I don't have it for you. There's so much to watch, and I failed you on that one. I failed you. James is not a fan of the super seniors. If you missed the news, Jaden De La Cerda, Antonia Anderson coming back for an extra year that was granted because of COVID by the NCAA, so they're super seniors. He says by doing this, Bradbury is moving all of his chips in the center of the table and saying next season is make or break for the Lady Lobos. Why isn't that okay? If that's why you're not a fan, I mean, don't you want to win? Wouldn't you say bringing them back and pushing your chips in is your best chance?
I don't understand that. Does he think that they're not going to be good the following year because they're just too focused on next year? It's good. Whatever happens, whether Antonio Anderson and Jaden De La Cerda came back for this season or not, the following year was going to be tough because your best players are all seniors this upcoming year. Now and then, so here's the question that you've been asking, Jeff: Are those players the ones that also get an extra year of eligibility? So yeah, it's absolutely going to be crazy the next couple years, but there is nothing wrong with this. And when Jaden De La Cerda, Antonio Anderson, taking advantage of this, a big part of it too is they wanted to play in front of fans. And as we sit here, it looks like at least there's going to be hopefully fans by the fall at indoor events, and you get that opportunity on what is a good basketball team. Now, if they didn't win the conference last year and they weren't good, probably wouldn't be seeing super seniors coming back trying to get to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, James, I would guess what's wrong with pushing all your chips in and saying let's win? And I guess we could be sitting here a year from now and he didn't win. You say, all right, he lost his chips, get rid of him. If that's what you're saying. But I guess you're going to have to help me understand why you think you're not better with Jaden De La Cerda and Antonia Anderson coming back than you would be if they're not there.
I would need a little bit more on why he thinks it's not a good thing for Lobo women's basketball.
Mike wants to know, he says, tell me again, Jeff Alou, why I should be excited that someone gave Lobo Athletics $1 million when they're going to lose like 15 this season, which I'm sure at some point taxpayers are going to get stuck with anyway. You don't have to get excited. I mean, why do I have to get excited somebody gave a program $1 million? I mean, it seems fairly self-explanatory. But you don't have to get excited. It's probably not going to necessarily directly affect you anyway. They're going to build an extension coming off of the toe, and there's going to be that center that's going to benefit their student athletes, and hopefully that'll help them continue to keep up in the facilities race and recruit better athletes, and hence be better competitively. So that's why you should care. You should care because there is some community support for the Lobos. There is a corporation, a company, New Mexico Mutual, who's doing well and wants to support them. You should care because you've got an athletic department who was able to go out and secure that gift. And so, if I got to continue to give you reasons why you care, then you're probably not going to care anyway.
Yeah, it's a big benefit for the student athletes across the board. The expanded workout area, and then especially the football facility, getting a brand new tunnel to run out of. Yeah, and then take the field and fly in the flag.
Tunnel, man. Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about tripping over any cords that are just covered by turf.
Yeah, I'm always careful on these announcements anyway. I mean, is it something to get just to go over the top excited about? I'm not. I'm going to tell you the press conferences are typically more for the donor than anything else, to get them the exposure, right, for coming up and giving you $1 million. And by the way, they probably have earned the press conference if they're giving you $1 million, right? That's right.
$1 million.
That's right. But I mean, get excited if you want. I like if I got to explain to you why to get excited, then you shouldn't get excited. It's really that simple. 2460610 or 888-922-0610. Keep them coming.
I got something for you to get excited about. That is F45. Functional training in 45 minutes. High-intensity circuit classes. I am loving it. Being back in the gym has been awesome for me. Just overall health, focus, accountability. things that I didn't have this past year when it came to my health. It was more just sitting, eating, watching television this past year. But now I'm refocused about bettering myself. So I'll consider it a redshirt year that I just took this last year. And now I'm focused on my physical fitness. And you can be too. At F45, what I love about it, the times I've been going to classes, it's all different people, different fitness levels. People that are there looking to kickstart their fitness, others, challenging themselves to get to the next level. And that's the beauty about the workouts. Anyone can do them, and you just use different weights, different tempos to get through the workouts. And it's a new class every single day, so it doesn't get stagnant. It keeps pushing your mind and body forward. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app. They have classes 7 days a week. The gym is located 5920 Holiday Northeast, so it's really good access, Paseo and I-25, from wherever you're coming from in the city. Look, you can sign up for your 7-day free trial, so you can get into the gym, check it out, see what the atmosphere is all about. They're managing class sizes, so download the app to sign up for your 7-day free trial, and then book your next class, so you can guarantee your spot in the gym. I'll be there this weekend. I love the weekend workouts, and when the schedule opens up, boom, hit it during the week. Do what you got to do, but focus on yourself, bettering your fitness level. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app. You're going to love the atmosphere. The trainers are awesome. All of them are great when it comes to motivation, but of course helping you if you need modifications on workouts to help you get the best you can out of the 45-minute classes. So f45training.com, F45 app, team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
We've all been.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Art Sandoval in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A university dedicated to anticipating your needs through support, offering you a sense of belonging and promise you loyalty. This is where those ideas are possible. We learn about the world, about each other, about ourselves, unfazed by our differences and driven by our goals. We all work as one cohesive family, as a community. We are the movers and shakers, inventors and innovators, future leaders and glass ceiling breakers. We push ourselves to move forward, together.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that could happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
There's been a lot of NBA stuff, injury stuff, trade stuff. Then there's Kevin Durant. And I asked you the question, JJ, why doesn't... I guess it's addicting. I guess people need the affirmation. Why wouldn't it be best for Kevin Durant to stay away from the social media?
He needs to. He can't handle it.
You had the whole ghost account or burner account that he went through. Kevin Durant made comments... And really, I think it was his first comment since he injured his hamstring back in February. But there's a feud, I guess, that's been going on between him and an actor and a comedian named Michael Rappaport. And Rappaport posted on social media some private messages that Kevin Durant had sent to Rappaport, and included threatening language and anti-gay and misogynistic slurs, and it went on and on. Durant said that he was apologetic that fans and the public saw the profanity. And he said, quote, "I'm sorry that people seen that language I used. That's not really what I want people to see and hear from me, but hopefully I can move past it and get back out on the floor," end quote. I'm not sorry I used it. I'm sorry that you saw it. I'm not sorry that that's part of my vernacular, my vocabulary. I'm just sorry. I mean, this is the classic I'm sorry I got caught, not I'm sorry I did it, right?
100%. KD needs to step away from the social media, man. He can't handle it. If you want to defend yourself, but then you start reading the messages and just what he said, and like you don't think that's going to get out and
So
how that's
help
going to
me
look
here.
on you.
Yeah, help for people who haven't.
I can't
and I'm
say
not-
anything that he said on those messages. Like I can't. Like you can look up the stories if you want to know, but it's an argument on social media between two grown men, and he's saying stuff that none of us would openly say in the public. You should hope you wouldn't, at least.
And he's sorry that you saw it.
Yeah.
Now he's making strides in his injury, and he's going to be back soon. And look, pretty soon he's going to be on the floor, and nobody's going to
Dude,
care.
just delete
Maybe
your
somebody
account.
will
Hire a PR manager. Go the Tom Brady route
Right.
where you're just posting
Right.
like, "Hey, look at me, I'm working out. Oh, hey, here's me with a trophy." Like, get off social media, dude. It is bad for your health. You're not handling it well. You look like a complete fool in this situation. And there's no, oh, it just took out of context. No, man, you put that out there. And you didn't think someone was going to be like, oh, look what Kevin Durant's saying. Even in a private message. Like, you put that in the public sphere. on a social media account.
Yeah, he's gonna tell you he doesn't think he put it out there. He thought he was direct messaging with an individual, which in fact he was. But nothing is private. And look, if you don't know by now, hell, you know by age 7 that no matter what you thumb out on your phone, whatever you type out on your keyboard is there forever, and it's potentially public, right? I mean, how do you not know
Music
that?
out in one.
He knows that because he had the burner account. Was like, whatever. Now I'm just gonna do it for my regular account. You can be on social media, have a presence. He doesn't handle it well. Put your phone down. Step away.
And if I can interject one thing, even if it is private a message, there's a thing called screenshot.
That's right. It lives forever, Bob. It lives forever. No matter if you delete it or not, it's there. You thumbed it, you pushed send. It's not going away. As Herm Edwards said, da-na-na, da-na-na, they're there to get you. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Clear, thank you.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Well, lest us not forget what's going on this weekend, and you'll hear it all here on the Sports Animal. It is the Final Four in Indianapolis. It's been a heck of a tournament. With everything that's going on, I don't know what you expected. We missed it last year. You've had your runs, and here we are with 2 1s and a 2. And then your party crasher, those pesky little Bruins. Your 11 seed. I mean, isn't it? It is borderline classic that your 11 seed, your underdog, your Cinderella, is them. It's not VCU. It's not Loyola. It's not the right. It's UCLA.
It's UCLA, absolutely. But we also take the 2 away. You gotta give a ton of credit for Houston, because they're a team that they're pretty good. Yeah. But them being in the Final Four is still fantastic. American Athletic Conference. All right, stand up. Wave that flag.
Yep.
You got it.
Do you think Kelvin Sampson stays? Kelvin Sampson, with everything that he's been through at Indiana, all the NCAA stuff, I mean, what he's done to get Houston back. And I say back because, I mean, go back to Phi Slamma Jam and think what they were. Go back to Elvin Hayes. I mean, go back in the day. Texas Tech comes and writes a gigantic check. Look, Houston's got a lot of money. I don't know if they got enough as much as Tech does, but does he want another run at a quote-unquote power conference? He's got an interesting athletic director, a good guy that he seems to like, in Chris Pesman at Houston. By the way, enough with your New Mexico Bowl jinx. Look what happened to Houston. New Mexico Bowl to the Final Four. It's been a hell of a year. what an athletic year for them. But does he stay, or can he be lured by? Is that someone Texas Tech wants? Because I would think they would.
I think Texas Tech will put him on the list. It feels like when you look at Kelvin Sampson and what he did, yeah, he broke some rules. But if you're really looking at the rules he broke, in comparison to what we just saw with, as we've discussed, FBI wiretaps, he made too many phone calls. Oh, shucks. He called and texted a little bit.
Did you just shucks me?
Oh, shucks. So that feels like something that absolutely Kelvin Sampson has put behind him. And he would be on the radar for Texas Tech. I think that's a call you make. And by the way, spin that one, AD. Oh, yeah, you know what? It just happened to us. Well, we're going to go out there and do the same thing, even though he said he was in the fight and there for the long haul at Houston. But now he's our coach at Texas Tech. I think it's absolutely a call you can make now with Kelvin Sampson, just to see if he is interested, because that's the only big job open. He's not going back to Oklahoma. He's not going to North Carolina. So,
yeah. And then there's the Bruins. Hello, Bruin James. You ready for you stocked up? You got enough? You got enough supplies for the weekend?
Yeah. I was calling a lot of people back home, and a lot of people think we have a pretty good shot.
Okay.
And,
I mean, you would expect
just-
your people to think that.
You know, I could barely hear you. You're kind of breaking up.
We'll move our station.
I can hear JJ. I can hear JJ. But I've been calling home, and everybody's all excited, and they think that we have a shot at taking on Gonzaga and beating them and moving on to the Final Four. I mean, to the championship game, and I mean, Westwood was on fire. It was on fire, and it's exciting, you know. I mean, but Dan Patrick talked about it yesterday. He goes, "We're UCLA and we're an underdog." I mean, it's crazy, you know, and we have 11 national championships. We have second most national championships in the NCAA, and we're an underdog, guys. And
Yes, you are.
but I want to give out props to Mick Cronin and his assistants, and man, it's been a wonderful ride, and man, I got faith. I think we can do it, guys. I really do.
Yeah. Enjoy the weekend, James. I know we'll talk on Monday. You should have faith. I mean, JJ, you get there, you get to that point, you should have the faith. And does UCLA have a shot? I mean, they're there, right? They're gonna put their, what would Lou Will say? They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like we do. I mean, I think Gonzaga's gonna run them. I mean, I do. But again, I thought they were done 2 games ago. I did. I thought that they were done with Alabama. I thought that they were done with Michigan. I think Gonzaga's a different beast, but man, I'll take nothing away from this UCLA run. You know, I look back at, why do I always forget? I see him, the coach at Mississippi State, they got fired before Alford.
Ben Howland.
Ben Howland took this team twice to the Final Four and wasn't good enough. This feels different, doesn't it? This feels like a super overachieving Mick Cronin gig to get him back, and there's a different – even if they get beat. They get beat by Gonzaga, which, by the way, Gonzaga, right? I mean, if you're a UCLA fan. But it certainly feels like the trajectory is different, and the feel in Westwood around that program is different with this run.
For a year until you happen to be a 500 basketball team next year, and they're going to be like, oh, yeah, this is – just Mick Cronin, and we're UCLA, and let's get our money together and go swing for the fences for the next head coach.
Let's get Mark Few this time. He'll come here to
You never know. Maybe if you beat him, you can take the coach after it in a couple years.
Well,
but this UCLA team, I'm not picking them to beat Gonzaga because Gonzaga is the best team in college basketball right now. Their efficiency on both ends of the floor is outrageous. But UCLA, they make it uncomfortable to play. They slow it down. They're ugly on both ends of the floor. Now, can you get Gonzaga to fall in that trap on possessions? That's going to be the key. Because if Gonzaga is efficient early, they're running away with it.
Gonzaga is the most well-oiled machine that I've seen, as consistently well-oiled. Like, and there's going to be a game that they're going to get taken out. Look, in their opener, when they opened up and they played, I think it was Norfolk State, they didn't look great. And Suggs, I think that was a big part of it. Suggs wasn't great. But, JJ, if you watch them all, the fact that they haven't played a single-digit game all year, and it's not just because they rolled through the West Coast Conference. I've read you their non-conference schedule and how they handled West Virginia and Virginia and all the power conference schools they played. They rolled them. To not have a single-digit victory, everything's been double digits, 30 wins in a row. They're as impressive as anything I've seen. I do want to see. I want to see them in Baylor. I wanted to see it for a year. I wanted to see it last year. I want to see it this year. I wanted to see it in January or in December when they got COVID delayed. I think that's what we're going to see. I think, and now when we sit here Monday, and I think we're going to talk about Baylor and Gonzaga, We're going to talk about a Baylor team that matches up with Gonzaga better than any other team in America. And I think Baylor's going to beat Houston. I think Gonzaga's going to handle UCLA, and I think that's where we're headed.
I agree with you. I'm with you on these teams being the two best that are left in Gonzaga and Baylor. You have to give a ton of credit to UCLA and Houston, teams that I have absolutely overlooked at times, picked against them. I think Houston's going to give Baylor the better basketball game just with their style of play. And Baylor isn't necessarily as consistent offensively. So I think that's going to be the closer game. And Gonzaga's, I think, going to go out there once again and show everybody, hey, it's not a West Coast Conference thing. It's a Gonzaga thing.
Yeah, I don't even think they're the two best teams remaining. I think they're the two best teams that were in the tournament. I think they're the two best teams. Michigan was really good, and if Livers was there, we'd be having this conversation about the three best teams. I do believe that. But he got hurt, and he's not. To me, these are the two best teams in America. They were all year. And I'm the one who tells you all the time, look, the best team isn't always the champion. You don't always get the best teams in the final. Teams get beat. That's why we have a postseason, and I love that about it. But every once in a while, the two best teams, they get there, right? Everybody, we're going to get Dodgers and Yankees. No, you get Dodgers and Rays. We're going to get Lakers and Bucks. No, you got the Lakers and Heat, right? But in this case, I think, and look, really good chance we sit here Monday and I'm wrong. But really good chance I think you sit there with Gonzaga and Baylor and say, man, this is where we were headed since November. These were the two best teams all year. And this is one of those, and I think it's a rare case. Because I really believe as you go through playoffs, things happen, teams get hot, and people wilt under the bright lights. But I think these are the two best teams. I think they're exponentially the two best teams. This takes nothing away from UCLA's run. And James, I love what the Bruins did. I am a huge Johnny Juzang guy and Jaime Jaquez, and for you to be named JJ, you should love Johnny Juzang.
Jaime Jaquez.
And Jaime
Johnny
Jaquez.
Juzang.
You should love JJs.
Yeah,
they
I'm
got
about
their
that.
JJs. Yeah,
they got the JJs, the representation in the tournament, fantastic. And it's one, to your point of, while I thought Illinois might have been one of those teams, but ultimately you play it out and you look at their overall body of work. And yeah, I think Gonzaga and Baylor have proven to be the two best teams in college basketball for the entirety of the season. Still work to do, but that's where I'm at for Monday night's title game.
And that said, Houston is the most disrespected, really good team in America, and they could jump up and bite Baylor. Houston is last year's San Diego State, right? They're this year's last year's San Diego. Like San Diego State would have been, I would have loved to see their run through the tournament because I think this is the kind of run San Diego State might have had last year. And Houston was this team all year. They had a very, very similar run like San Diego State had a year ago. 505-246-0610. I want your thoughts. Who is going to be standing when we hit Monday? Who's it still going to be? Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. We're on ProView Networks where Aaron is producing. You can watch it on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM. The OD and the AM. Bobcat's producing on the radio side. Glad you're listening on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to newmexicohighlands.com today.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
So UCLA, Gonzaga, Baylor, and Houston. That's what you get. We'll have it all for you on the Sports Animal tomorrow. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. The number to get in today is 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Your emails are coming in. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ, why is Gonzaga so hard for people to say? Why is it Gonzaga? Like when they wear their jerseys and it just says Zags on it.
Zags.
Is anybody in America? Oh, look, there's the Zogs. Why do people call them Gonzaga? It's Gonzaga.
It's because we all say things a little bit differently.
Yeah, but when someone tells you what their name is, right? That's their name, right? When they tell you and it's Nevada, it's not Nevada. People get upset about that. It's Oregon, it's not Oregon. It's like the people from there. It's Gonzaga. Why? Like our voice guy, Gonzaga. How? Gonzaga. Zaga. What it says on their shirt, Zag. Why is that so hard?
Zogs.
The Zogs. What? Carlisle says it's Gonzaga. It's one of those. I lived. Yeah, when I lived and worked in Washington State, and that was one of those things. And that was. It was 25 years ago, but that's when they were just coming onto the scene, right? And it was like one of those things. Why can't people say our name? It's Gonzaga. All right. Well, nobody ever heard of you. Now, 25 years later, I think everybody's heard of them. Why is it so hard? It's Nevada. It's not Nevada.
Nevada.
It's JJ. It's not Yay. Well, maybe it might be Yay. It's Bob. It's
all
not
depends
Boom.
on who's saying it.
Yeah. But should it depend? Like, should you?
Sometimes there's just that dialect. Some things people cannot say.
All right.
If you're running into Tilly, ask her to say 12 or Bell and see what happens.
How does she say 12?
Well, I'll get her in here next break and we can.
She can't say 12? That's funny.
She has to slow down. It has to be one of the, she's like 12.
Really?
Yeah,
right.
It happens.
I guess we all have our blind spots. So that's true. All right, Gus said, he sent me an email. He says, I am just sick, Jeffy. On this very station on Wednesday, I was listening to one of the national talking heads brag about Padres farm system and how they may be the third best program in the league now behind the Yankees and the Dodgers. But the Chihuahuas won 4 straight PCL Pacific Southern Division titles. I thought winning and developing players were mutually exclusive. Developing players meant you weren't allowed to win. It's from Gus. P.S. Having Bobcat on the OD cross-producing. No, he says cross-promotes both shows. Like when they have Flash do a crossover on Supergirl. Oh, all right. You're like Flash, Bob. I don't even know what that means, but you're like Flash doing a crossover on Supergirl. Yeah, all right. Well, that's who you are. You're a comic book hero. Yeah, you're a comic book hero.
Zip through everything.
Yeah. JJ, Gus is pissed because Isotopes have not won a damn thing in, I don't know, ever. They've never raised a flag since they've been the Isotopes. And you're told every year, well, it's not about winning, it's about developing. And he's telling you, but he's pissed off because the Padres have developed players and the Chihuahuas have won while they're developing those Padre players. And he's pissed off and he's tired of eating that line of crap that he thinks that everybody's feeding him.
It's fair. Hey, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
But throw your shade at the big
Bill
league
on the
club
line.
that picks the players and puts them at the different levels in the minor league organization.
Yes. And to his point, man, the Padres have developed. Now, granted, they a lot of the big league talent they've acquired at the big league
They've
level.
used the El Paso Chihuahua talent to acquire superstars.
A lot of it. And they've won with it. Yeah. So, Gus, you have a right to be, as you said,
Send
sick.
a strongly worded letter to the Monforts because they got a lot of ish to figure out.
But the Rockies won yesterday with a bunch of isotopes on the roster. Didn't you see they beat the mighty Dodgers?
Yeah,
They're
but
undefeated.
fans don't care about. Did the Isotopes win? No, so it doesn't matter.
All right. But the Rockies are undefeated. Bob, did you tell me I got somebody on the line that I need to go to?
Yes, Bill.
All right, let's go there. Hello, Bill. You're on the opening drive. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
It's good. Thank you.
Now, another name that I cannot stand people do is Cesar Chavez. They say Caesar,
Yeah.
and Caesar's from Italy. But anyway, now I was going to talk about the Final Four. I didn't, of course, everybody's bracket was busted with Loyola and all of them. So when I got to the Sweet 16, I had 6 teams, and I've still got 3 on the Final Four. So I was real
Yeah.
happy about that. I can't believe that UCLA's where they're at, but it was nice to see them go there without Alford. But I've got Gonzaga beating Baylor in the final 70-68. It was a CBS thing I did, but I feel that Gonzaga is going to do what they haven't done, and I'm hoping they do.
Yeah, did you get in an office pool? Because if you got 3 left, you're probably in a good position to probably cash in a little bit.
No, it's not an office pool. My car is my office, so I just did a CBS Sports thing on the web, so I did that. But I was kind of happy to have 3 out of the 4. So
Yeah, I think that's phenomenal, especially in a year like this. Although they're 2 1s and a 2, but that's good. All right, Bill, we'll enjoy it, and let's catch up on it next week.
all right, thanks, sir.
See ya. Yep, Cesar Chavez. Yeah, that's fair. That's Cesar Chavez.
Edward on the line.
Yeah, I mean how do you pronounce tomato? Oh wait, Thomas Edward Brady doesn't eat tomatoes, and he doesn't even eat tomatoes. It's in his damn book. Edward, do you eat tomatoes? If Tom Brady doesn't, do you?
I do, actually. You know, during your breaks, there's a doctor that comes on named Sanjay Gupta, Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
That's
who
correct.
delivers such great information about just living a healthier life. And what he says is, if you don't have your diet dialed in, which, by the way, the Crusher has his dialed in, he goes, if anything, you don't have to take a bunch of supplements. Just eat the colors. Eat red tomatoes, lemons, blueberries, broccoli. So I try to incorporate the colors into my diet on a daily basis. And, it's even made me more devastatingly handsome. So to answer your question, I do. I don't eat strawberries, though. And Thomas Edward Brady does not eat
So I draw the
strawberries.
line.
I read his book.
Yeah, I draw the line
and
there. Lectins.
I read his, but my son got me his book, and I read the Tom Brady Method, and it's really predicated on, stretching and yoga principles and preparing your body for activity. And the corporation where I work actually, facilitates that same type of program. So I try to be consistent. A little Final Four prognostications. Bruin James, this is nothing personal, brother. The UCLA championships were built on the foundation of John Wooden and the Pyramid of Success, which 2 principles I really like that in the Pyramid of Success. I encourage all your listeners to go and research it. Stake activity for accomplishment and discipline yourself so others don't have to. Those are phenomenal, by the way. Gonzaga is going to take them apart. I mean, they're going to take them apart. I would say they'll go easy on them, but it'll probably be a 20-point lead at some point in the game. And it's not an indictment on UCLA. They've had a tremendous season, and I actually like them, Bruin James. So I'm rooting for you, brother. But Gonzaga is going to take them apart. And I think Baylor, with their length and shooting, they're going to get by that other, they're going to get by. And then we're going to have a dynamic, phenomenal final game, I believe, on Monday, whenever it is. And I'm looking forward to it. So baseball off to a raging start. JJ, congratulations to your Rockies. I believe they won yesterday. I think the Red Sox lost. I wasn't really paying much attention, but
They didn't play.
I'll watch a total of 0 games during the regular season, and then maybe if the Red Sox get in, if they don't trade their best players away to help the Dodgers win the championship, or let them go, I might watch the playoffs. Good Friday, gentlemen. Happy Holy Week, if that's an individual's creed that listens to your show. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you.
Happy Easter weekend. All right, so here's what I'm not going to do.
I might listen to you next time you call. We'll see.
Or I might. I'm not going to watch a game. Maybe I'll watch the playoffs, but enjoy it. No, here's what I'm not going to do. All right, fair enough. Like baseball is almost more well, that's not fair. In some circles, it's almost more symbolic than it is actual, meaning opening day signifies things are growing on the trees, the weather's getting warmer, you start your Friday afternoon tea times, you're outside more, and it's baseball. For others, it's, I'm watching every game of the Padres, or I'm watching every Cardinals game or Dodger game, and no, JJ's going to be a Padre fan, and too bad Uncle Teddy's not going to be there to listen to, but he'll listen, and two of the great voices of the Padres over the last years, Dick Enberg passed away, and then Uncle Teddy's now an ambassador, so he's not on their broadcast anymore. But you can listen to them. You know what I learned yesterday, and I did not know this? So the Dodgers-Rockies were on ESPN, but I flipped over to AT&T Sportsnet Rocky Mountain. Is that what it is now? AT&T Sportsnet, right? And that used to be my regional. Well, they've switched me over, and they've now given me Diamondbacks, so I get Arizona instead of Colorado. So I saw some of the Padre game, but I'm not sure I like that. I don't know that I think that's better for me, and I'm not sure how to change that because the last bunch of years with my package, my regional package has been Colorado, and I'm not sure why the carrier has flipped me over to Arizona. Is that a good thing this year?
To be determined. I will say I was watching. I still can't quit you. I had it on watching our friends at AT&T Sportsnet Rocky Mountain.
Yeah.
Up there. So yeah, tuned in. Can't quit you, but go Padres.
All right. Well, I caught a little Padres just because that's what my carriers give me. And I'm not sure me even being able to call and complain is going to make a difference. They probably decided, but I didn't. Is this more Diamondback territory or Rocky territory? It's more Rockies, isn't it? Just because of the isotopes?
No, what? It's Dodger territory still.
Okay.
I think. And then maybe a little bit if you give the isotopes that organization.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the Diamondbacks.
Do you know any Diamondback fans? Do you know any Diamondback fans?
No, not really.
I don't either.
I'd have to put out that bat signal. And let's hear from Diamondback fans.
All right. Do you ever see Diamondback gear?
Not a lot of Diamondback gear.
Yeah. The Diamondbacks to me in this market are irrelevant. And look, I like Torey Lovello, their manager. Knew him when I played with him when I was a kid. That's why I kind of root for them. And so I'll hold a little bit there. But I don't know one Diamondback fan. I know Cardinal fans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Arizona football Cardinal fans, but I don't know. I don't know one at all. All right, 505-246-0610. I got a Hall of Fame emailer for you when we get back. Want your thoughts on the Final Four? Jaden De La Cerda and Antonia Anderson coming back for their super senior season. Baseball is underway. We're a week away from the Masters, a few weeks away from the NFL draft, and college basketball coaching stuff. So there's a lot still on the table for you. Finish the week strong as we roll into the weekend on April 2nd, whatever that means to you. Is that like the day after April Fool's? Means what? It's Good Friday, too. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Getting
Players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today. Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today. Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today. Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us.
So football in University Stadium. You got 2 games yesterday. You got games today. Tomorrow you get the spring game for UNM football, and then the high school is going to take over the stadium in the afternoon. You've got state volleyball going on at the pit. You've got high school basketball, so the kids are getting to play. I got to sit with a buddy of mine and his daughter. She's a freshman, Addie's age. She's older, but she's a freshman. And she's going to play in the state volleyball tournament today. And I know I've told you just the joy of my child, but watching her talk about it was the same thing. And I asked her a little bit about when did you feel as a freshman, because she told me the whole story about how she went out and didn't know that she was going to make varsity and didn't really know, and then she was grouped with these girls and just the whole and it was so cool watching her tell the story. And I said, so when did you kind of feel like you earned their respect, that you belong? And she's like, oh my God, it was, and she told me the whole story, and watching her light up and talk about playing in the state semifinals the other day, and she's playing, it's just, God, I just love the high school stories. And I just got an email from Grady. His son Pecos won their first game yesterday. And the probe, you guys get it. You guys are out there every day, and you're in the middle of it, and you see it firsthand. And Aaron's shaking his head. And JJ, you did a game last night.
Hey,
so
shout out to
Siembieda.
What a performance. 51-47 victory at Volcano Vista. Just an incredible defensive performance from Siembieda. Jeremiah Ortiz, go-ahead bucket. 3-point shot with 3.3 seconds left, giving the Cougs the victory.
Damn.
It's fantastic basketball.
That's the game I was supposed to do with you? I missed out on that? Dang.
Jaquan Hill, the junior for the Hawks, though, he put his team on his back, had a run where he scored 8 straight points in the fourth quarter. He had 23 points in the night, but coming up short. And a big victory for Siebel after they lost to Trisco Heritage 53-33 in the opener. So game 2, they responded in a big way.
No, it's so cool. It's so cool. All right, so that's kind of the theme of this email. It says, no joke, from Grady, Rookie Friday home mentors of the OD and the AM. So far, news from the schools participating in the bowl games at University Stadium has been very positive. One quote I heard from one of the kids from Bloomfield, I think, was that it was the best football experience he's ever had. The fact that these games were/are being played there was a very close second behind the start of high school hoops in my New Mexico Prep's good news stories of the week. I don't think the stale, stodgy, curmudgeon-y, we've always done it this way crowd really understands how special and, quite frankly, how fun it is for high schoolers to road trip with their teammates to play at a quality D1 venue. With the exception of maybe the Artesia Bowl, there's not a high school venue in the state that comes close to University Stadium. And I bet if you ask the Bulldogs if they'd rather stay home and play a road trip to Albuquerque, I'd bet the majority would chant start the bus. Don't even get me started on the exposure these athletes and programs are/will get from playing here. Like it or not, Albuquerque is the news and media hub of the state. I'm with you guys. I hope this experiment is not a one-time COVID-related event. There are good reasons for this not. There are no good reasons for this not to be a permanent football state championship event. The new guy, Bobcat, did downright okay on his first hoe. Now, no joke, he's on another radio program? Really? Who's this Strauss guy? Well, if JJ's willing to give it a listen, it must be all right. So much for being a cool crossover listener. Happy to report 1 game down, 1 W in the books for the Panthers. # drive for 5, Grady in Santa Fe by way of the tiny village of Pecos. So we're up in Pecos today as well. You and I, and I know we're not alone, are really, really, really hoping that this is a trial run for playing the state championships at University Stadium.
I think it's in it. I think it does elevate high school football in the state of New Mexico overall to have, marquee event where you take 2-3 days, play those games all at University Stadium. Heck, if you wanted, I'd even throw Aggie Memorial out there. If they just thought, hey, maybe you want to have a rotation back and forth, but I still think Albuquerque, just to his point, the hub, the availability you have around the cities for hotels, etc. To highlight these games. Because it's not fair to these student athletes when you're playing state title games at the same time. We don't do that for basketball. We don't do that for anything else. But football, we see these games being played at the same time. It's just different classifications, and then you have people picking and choosing. Of course, family and friends, yeah, but you would definitely get so many more crossover fans just to attend the game if it was a state title Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to have to make sure that they get that field cleaned and we're able to paint it for the New Mexico Bowl, which would be a week later. But I think we're able to do that.
Get the quick dry paint.
Yeah. I can't. Look, Grady said this. He lives in Pecos. Like it or not, Albuquerque's the media and population hub of this state. And if you want to play one in Cruces once every X number of years, fine. And I don't say that disparagingly or out of lack of respect. First of all, geographically, Albuquerque is the center or as close to center as you're going to get. It is, and this is not arguable, the media hub of the state. It is the largest metropolitan area. University Stadium is the best facility. I've been to both. I've broadcasted from both. It is the best facility. College football bowl games played there in December. To your point, there are more hotels. It's more accessible from everywhere. This isn't is Albuquerque a better place than Las Cruces? That's not even this conversation. It's not Lubbock versus Austin. It's fact. This is done, this model, in so many places and done successfully. You have issues. You have locker room issues. You've got some logistic issues that you can get through. Can you use the pit locker rooms and to dress and come across the street? Can you set up temporary? You've got logistic stuff to get through. But I've told you this so many times. One of the coolest events I've ever covered in my career was what they used to call the King Bowl in Washington State, and that was at the Kingdome, and that was the high school football championship. Everybody wanted to get to the King Bowl. Everybody wanted to go play in the Kingdome where the Seahawks played, where the Mariners played. And they would start in the morning with the B schools and go to, I think they did 7-man, then B, then A, then all the way up to the 5A or whatever the biggest classification was. And people are coming through all day, and you're running people in and out of that stadium, and it's one big celebration. And for those of us who want to grow football at every level in this state, and that's been my business for 15 years, I see zero negatives. The old, and to his point, the curmudgeon-y, well, it should be played at the sites. And what about Eunice and the Dairy Queen and the Denny's, if they, I don't know, whatever the diner is, and they get, what do they get it once every 8 years, 7 years, in the rotation with whoever, Dexter, home and what about the experience for the student athlete? Again, who are we doing this for? I ask you this all the time. Is it for the student athlete or is it for the guy who runs Dairy Queen down there? I mean, there's no negatives on this. And plus, all the media coverage would be there. Nobody would get left out. For me, it's been a no-brainer since I got here 25 years ago.
I'm on board. 2 thumbs up. Let's get it going. Let's get it done. And now I think you do have a voice, though, too, now, in Danny Gonzalez, that is going to help push that. Because I don't think Bob Davey ever cared about that. I'm not sure the last time a coach at the University of New Mexico wanted high school football games to be played at their stadium.
That's a fair point. I don't know that Bob was against it. I just don't know that he was actively for it. I think that's fair. I ask anybody who ever played a game. And I don't care if your home field is the Wool Bowl or it's Eunice High School or Lordsburg or Farmington or Santa Rosa. Ask anybody who's ever played, would you like to play one more home game? The answer is easy if it's one more road game. Do you want to go play, if you play for Manal School, and do you want to go play in Santa Rosa or the stadium? It's easy. So half of the participants, it's inarguable. But ask the people, you want to play another home game for a state champion, or you want to play in the stadium? You want to see the big screen and your replays up on the big screen, right? Do you want to play? I'm going to tell you 90 to 95%, if not more, are going to tell you they want to play in the stadium.
Yeah, and it's, you can start building that tradition. You can start making it an event just like we have for the state basketball tournament when people flock to the pit when it gets to that point. You're playing games, of course, Bernalillo, the Star Center, but then you get to that moment, and that's what everyone is striving for, and it could become that with University Stadium and football.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no reason it can't become that. And if you want to play all the playoff games up until outsides, do it. Do it. But let's give it a really cool name, and and it could be, everybody's wanted the Chili Bowl or the Zia Bowl for the New Mexico Bowl, and New Mexico Tourism has always been a big sponsor of it, and so it's been New Mexico. But call it the Chili Bowl, or call it the Zia Bowl, right? If that's what you want, or the Bowl of Enchantment, or whatever, and play it there and have one big day. I've been screaming this from the rooftops for 25 years.
Let's keep screaming it. Let's keep screaming it.
Yeah, let me tell you something else I'll scream about and I'll go to bat for all the time. That is Coleman Vision and Dr. Stephen Coleman. I've told you the story and I'm going to tell it to you again. I was wearing glasses since I was in high school, and I was anchoring the morning news back in 2002, 2003. Getting up at 3 in the morning, wearing my glasses to work, then putting on makeup and contacts, and I hated it. So I went to see Dr. Stephen Coleman over at Coleman Vision. I was diagnosed with a high degree of astigmatism, something in which he specializes in taking care of, and I got my LASIK done. Got it done at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, opened my eyes immediately. Immediately saw the difference. Anchored the news the next morning at 5 a.m. and have not worn corrective lenses since. It changed my life. I don't deal with contacts and solution and all that stuff to travel with. I don't have fogged up lenses now with COVID and masks. Why Coleman Vision? Because Dr. Stephen Coleman is the best. Because people come from all over the globe to have their LASIK done in Albuquerque at Coleman Vision by Dr. Coleman. He is in on the technology. He's helping to create the latest and greatest. It's at Siembieda Labs, and it's used all over the world. And people come here to get their LASIK done from the best. This is your eyes, man. Don't play around. If you think you are a candidate for LASIK, there's one place to go, and that's Coleman Vision. Look at their website. It's colemanvision.com. You'll check it out. You'll see, wow, it's pretty impressive. You can make a phone call, 505-821-8880, and go in for your first visit, and you're going to realize what I'm telling you. They become family to me. colemanvision.com or 505-821-8880. That's 821-8880. Seeing is believing. You're going to believe.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView.
All right, walking you towards the weekend, a weekend in which you will get your Final Four. Kansas, the University of, signed Bill Self, their basketball coach, to a lifetime contract. They just announced, JJ. Does this feel dangerous? I guess you could always get out of it, right? There's always clauses. So he had less than a year remaining on his deal. He's got a new 5-year rolling agreement that automatically adds 1 year at the conclusion of each season for the remaining of his career. So he basically gets to choose when he's done, kind of like Roy Williams just did. Sometimes I don't even know what these mean anymore. Right? Texas Tech offered Chris Beer a lifetime contract. He said, "No, I don't want it," and he went to Texas. But he can leave whenever he wants, right? Or they could buy him out lifetime. It's a 5-year deal that just keeps rolling.
Yeah. I don't think it's dangerous. I think it's more symbolic than anything at this point in time. And it's just Kansas showing support for Bill Self, because there has been a little bit more in terms of things finally coming down on some of these schools, Arizona, Kansas, with what we saw stemming from that FBI investigation. So this is also the Jayhawks saying, you know what, we're rolling with Bill Self. He's our guy. Regardless of what happens, this is our head coach, and he's here until he doesn't want to be here anymore.
All right, so whatever comes of the FBI, let's put that on the side for a minute. Would you say that's the most consistent program of the last 2 decades? And so I know automatically you'd say, no, Duke and well, look, Duke and Kentucky aren't in the tournament. A down year for Kansas this year was a 3 seed.
Yes. When you start looking at it, if you're going to stretch it out to a 10-year period, so you're bringing in multiple recruiting classes, especially Kansas, that they've dipped their toe in it. They've had some of the one and dones along the way, but it's Kansas, it's Gonzaga, would have been a Duke up until this season, but no question.
Yeah, I think I would go there too. I mean, you would automatically probably go somewhere else. You would think.
Because what is the run that they're on of conference championships now?
It was broken this year because
so it's finally broken, but
it was like 14, 15 years that they won straight conference championships. Yeah, it was stupid. So I would absolutely tell you that I think that they're the most consistent program in America. Now you could say, well, yeah, Jeff, did you see the FBI something? Yeah. But until someone comes down on them, until somebody tells me, okay, that's been vacated, that's got to change. I mean, you can show me all the problems you want, but if we sit here and accept everything, I mean, what's happened with Arizona? Sean Miller's still there, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. What's wrong with Austin? Is he just unhappy, or is he? I mean,
he's just
a kid. What the hell?
He's running around. He's like, why is no one playing with me right now? He's got his Hot Wheels out. Hold on, man. Got like 5 more minutes.
Hot Wheels are cool. So you get to play with Hot Wheels every day?
I do. Well, I was able to pass on my collection. And so that was one of the things I was so excited about, is my giant bucket of Hot Wheels is now onto him, and we're still adding to the collection.
So I got mine in a little case, but they all had their own little slots. And so Addie didn't take to them quite as much as I'm going to guess Austin probably did. But yeah, I've got mine super old. Do you have the track where you get to race them? And then it has
we
the
do have
flag
a
that comes
track.
down. So like you would set it up like high on a chair, and then they'd race down, and then that was my favorite part. So you get to race Hot Wheels every day?
We do race Hot Wheels. He is very much a gearhead as a little guy.
That is so cool. Which is the fastest one?
Oof. The fastest one lately has been this red Mercedes we have. It's been doing some work on the track.
You paid extra for the Mercedes, didn't you? It was an expensive one.
Got the upgrade.
Oh, that's so cool. And then you have, like, is he into cards yet, like baseball cards and stuff?
Not really doing much with cards or anything right now.
What's the go-to cartoon?
Paw Patrol. He's a Paw Patrol kid.
Yeah, I wasn't big on that one. Yeah, Addie didn't do that one for a long time. All right, cool. But you've got all the kids' stations set up. Do you have to split screen it, or do you each have your own TV?
No, we'll do that. In the afternoon, I'll have cartoons on, like when he wakes up for a little bit, and then I'll have like a game on the other screen.
Yeah. All right, you watch the left side. I'm going to watch the big side with the sound. That's how that works. All right, this weekend, we got the Final Four. So you and I are both on the favorites, right? We're going 1 seeds, Gonzaga, Baylor. Shocked by the time we get here. It's been a cute little tournament. Nice run by Oral Roberts. UCLA was a cute little story. North Texas was cute and all, but when we get down to it, you and I both believe it's going to be the two best teams.
Yes, it's one of those things. You say good job, good effort, great run, UCLA. Houston, you had a fantastic season. I just think the better basketball teams will indeed prevail on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's. I think it's damn good.
Right? Like at this point in time, it's like, why do we even have to? You're in the Final Four. Like, why do I have to like? I'm picking one of the two teams in this game tonight.
I think because it's UCLA. If that 11 seed here, if it was one of the other 11 seeds in this tournament, right? If that 11 seed, where UCLA came out of, would have been, why can't I find a damn 11 seed on my chart? Anybody else? So your other 11 seeds in this tournament were Drake. You just say what a great run by Drake. Syracuse. Chip Boeheim got him good. Utah State, like, would you be saying good job, good effort? Hell no. But because it's UCLA who's the 11th seed, you're going, oh yeah, well, I mean, anything but a championship. Look, let me just tell you something. You get to the Final Four, there's no yeah buts on it. Like everybody, that's the destination. It's the Final Four.
You've survived and advanced to this point in time. You have absolutely earned it. And then also, I'm going with the two best teams in the women's game to have that matchup on Sunday, UConn and Stanford, which should be a great game as well.
Yeah, everybody's disrespecting Arizona, man. Like, who else is the other team there? What, Arizona?
So Connecticut, 13.5-point favorites in that one, so very similar to Gonzaga, UCLA.
Well, I mean, UConn's just a different beast, right? They're just, they just are. Stanford, though, is kind of like the Baylor. I mean, they're the team that you look at it on the women's side and you say, okay, they're going to match up with them. That's the team that I believe would match up with them. So, yes. All right, you get your baseball this weekend. You get the golf, was kind of your prelim to the Masters next week. There's stuff going on at Augusta, by the way. If you want to watch like the women's amateur and the drive, chip, and putt contests and all that stuff, we're getting ready. Did you watch? What was I watching? What was the golf tournament last week? It wasn't the Players. What did I watch last week? Oh, it was the Match Play. Gallery's back. It was. I forgot after watching golf. I was so happy to have golf back last year to watch because there were no sports, and for a while it was only golf and MMA. To have fans back.
Music 1 minute out.
It was a big difference. It was a big difference. All right, Josh, thank you for putting us on the air. Watch all ProView's doing. They've got games. Go to ProViewNetworks.com. They've got a full slate of games, football, volleyball, basketball, everything. Check them out, ProViewNetworks.com. Bob, appreciate the week. Thank you for being here, and I guess we'll work with you on Monday, right?
Yes, you will.
All right, enjoy the weekend. JJ, enjoy the weekend.
Absolutely.
And
Sandia at
tonight.
El Dorado, Comcast Channel 26, ProView Game of the Night. Should be a great one.
All right, JJ will have the call. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherds after that. Sports Bar at 4. We're back Monday morning with more award-winning radio at 7 a.m. Have a great, safe Easter weekend, boys and girls. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you on Monday.
The Albuquerque Journal and Venue Plus.
Okay.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.